Hi everybody, this is Artemis with SirLinksalot, and today I'm going to be touching on something that has had SEOs everywhere crying and throwing up for the past couple of weeks, and that is the fact that Google has changed the ability to view and crawl 100 search results per page, and now you can only see 10 at a time. So what does that mean for your SEO? First of all, it means relax, okay? I know that your tracking tools are going haywire right now, and you're probably bleeding impressions, but that doesn't actually have to mean that much for your own strategy and your approach, and in this video I'm going to tell you why. I know that there are SEOs and marketers out there who heavily relied on having access to all 100 SERPs for their strategy through tracking tools. So for those people, Ahrefs responded to this new change by pretty much saying, we have no idea how we're going to handle this change, and we have no idea how we're going to adapt to it, but don't worry, we eventually will. I guess that's something for you guys to look forward to. But in the meantime, there are still ways to shift your own strategy to accommodate this. For example, you can actually just do a manual SERP check, which is a real pain in the ass, I know, but it does work and you're going to know where you stand. The big question that everybody's wondering right now is why? Why in the world would Google have the incentive to make such a dramatic change? So I'm actually just going to go ahead and read an excerpt from a post that Praveen Kumar made in our Facebook group, the SEO Roundtable, because I think that it's really insightful and I do want to explore this a little bit more. So here's what he said. Many suspect that the disabling of the num equals 100 is an intentional move to reduce external tracking services abusing Google systems, with there even being the potential that the recent news that ChatGPT is using SERP AI is another reason for this. I thought that this was interesting because it's a very valid theory. It might be worth it for them to actually screw over these third-party tracking tools if it means that Google can make it more expensive and more slow for the LLMs in particular to crawl Google. So think about it. If the LLMs are less efficient, then Google's own AI services automatically have the upper hand because it's appearing right there at the top of the SERP. So what Google Search is doing is limiting tracking tools and LLMs to matching their own API functionality for their search, which is only displaying 10 results per page. As a result, for tools and APIs that rely on crawling SERPs, they'll only see 10 results per page at the same time as well. So when you have to paginate that instead of pulling all 100 at once, that's a lot more of an expensive way to get the exact same data that you need. So overall, I think that would actually make sense. But either way, there's some good news here. So whether your tracker shows it or not, your rankings are still there, right? So if you're still doing proper SEO work, then you're going to rank either way, period. Actually, there are people reporting that even though their impressions have completely tanked, their average position and their clicks have remained pretty much the same. So in the grand scheme of things, it shouldn't actually mean all that much for your strategy in the short term. Personally, in the long term, I think that LLMs like ChatGPT and Perplexity will eventually probably just start relying more on Bing or something to pull their data instead of just accepting that increased cost and effort that it would take to scrape Google. So they'll either do this or they'll raise the prices to compensate for that extra effort that they're going to have to take to provide the same exact services and probably just pass the cost onto us as they do. I wouldn't be surprised either way. And also, I think that third-party tracking tools like Ahrefs and SEMrush are going to find a way around this sooner rather than later, but I think that they might also increase the prices because it's going to take more resources in order to crawl those pages now. Another thing that I want to touch on is that a lot of people will stop investing in SEO because of this. It's really freaking everybody out. They're wondering if it's going to be worth their time. I think that it's an awesome opportunity for people who have been consistently doing SEO to keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to actually have less competition. That's something to keep in mind because a lot of people don't realize that when you have dramatic changes like this, yes, it is something that we would consider uncharted territory, but there's been uncharted territory in the SEO game since the existence of Google. There's always been constant changes, and there've always been people who have been freezing up and in turn freezing their budget because they don't know how to react to these changes. My advice to you is to not actually prioritize reacting to these changes, but just keep doing what you're doing consistently. Keep doing good SEO that will allow you to still rank either way. And that way you can get ahead while everybody else is pretty much paralyzed trying to figure out where they're going to go from here. Either way, this is completely uncharted territory for us, so I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts and your experiences. Have your clicks also changed along with your impressions, or has your strategy changed at all? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya!